Alright, guys, I think it's time, I think it's time to give my dream YouTube boxing fights. Alright, first one, and this is a YouTube boxing fight that I've been trying. Let's start again, guys. So I'm gonna give my dream YouTube boxing fights for this year, or even next year, 2024, and this year, 2023. So I'm gonna give my dream YouTube boxing cards. First dream YouTube boxing fight. Uh, I said cards or fight. I can't remember, but I want to see Deji versus Dean the Great. Weird fight, but I want to see it. I generally do think Dean the Great would beat Deji. I think he would outbox and box the fuck out of Deji. I think his fast hands. He's got some fast hands. Like he's a very fast guy. He's very athletic. I think he could definitely jab Deji a lot, frustrate the fuck. His neck snapping back to all these jabs. That guy's got some fast ass jabs. When he hits you, your head goes like that. That's how fast his jabs are. Like they are very, very, very fast. Like he can hit you, and you'll be like, ugh, like this, like fast, bah, and then you're like, bah. That's how fast his jabs are. So I generally do think that Dean the Great would beat Deji. I think he would box the fucking socks, the fucking brakes out of Deji, fucking with his fast hands, fucking snapping Deji's neck back. That shit's frustrating as fuck. But I think it would happen. So if Deji wants to get respect, wants to be respected as, fuck's sake. So if Deji wants to be respected as a boxer, go fight Dean the Great, and if you win, I'll give you respect. You beat an actual experienced professional amateur boxer. But he is technically a professional because he's fought on 3 professional fights. One of them counted as a real professional fight when he fought Willie Sharks, because that was in America. And obviously UK, yes, they were pro, but then they had amateur rules and they didn't really go on the guy's record because they didn't really have a pro record to have their wins go on there. So, but they were still pro though. But only one of his fights counted as pro because those fights without fight was in America, where they allowed it to go on his actual real box rec. Not the YouTube box rec, because that shit is not real, really, in the boxing world. But yeah, and it's I don't know, man. I just feel like Deji, he's overrated. Like when he throws combinations and his 1-2s, they're so awkward. Like even in the Storms fight, where he was throwing those combinations on when he had Storms on the ropes, they look so they look so weird. They didn't look right. Like you're just throwing and it's you're throwing these weird combinations coming out of nowhere, and it looks so stiff and stationary, and it looks so forced. And he was missing not a lot, but there was points where Swarms had him in that fight when he fought Deji. When Deji fought Swarms, Swarms did land some good shots on Deji and had him hurt at some point. There was points where Deji would throw punches, get countered, and would instantly rushing for a clinch after he got hurt by Swarms. And it's if you're going to continue to do these things where you just come rushing in and leaving your chin and everything exposed, you're going to get punished for it. That's just boxing. You're going to get punished. You're going to get counted. That is simply just boxing. That's how it's going to be. You're going to continue to rush forward and leave your chin, your head exposed. You're going to get punished. You're going to get counted. You're going to get hit a lot. That's just how boxing works, isn't it? Because when he throws combinations, they look so weird. They look so stationary. They look so stiff. His stiff combinations, his stiff jabs, his stiff right hands, his stiff hooks, they're just not right. When I look at them, I just look at, wow, I can really tell you've only been doing this for 5 years, because you have no technique really, and your fans genuinely do think he does. His fans are the most deride. He's got the most loyal deriding fans ever. They deride him all the time. It's it just doesn't make any sense to me. Any sense to me at all, because his fans are so deriding. They just dick ride him all the time. Acts like he's this amazing boxer when he beat FouseyTube. Now FouseyTube, I respect him, but he's a bomb. He's a trash can. Any YouTube boxer would beat FouseyTube. Come on. Did you beat FouseyTube? Everyone thinks he's like Mayweather. It's you beat a trash can. You literally admitted to being the worst YouTube boxer. So if you beat the worst YouTube boxer, does that make you a good boxer? No, it makes you a decent boxer because you got a win. But then it doesn't make you an amazing top tier contender, and his fans generally think that he's at that level. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's funny how we give disrespect to Jake Paul for fighting old retired guys who aren't boxers and say, oh, he's not for a professional boxer yet. And then we give shit to Slim, guys like Slim, saying, oh, he's fighting trash cans. But when Deji fights trash cans, we give him a pass because he's Deji. Like, no, just because he's Deji, just because he's from the UK doesn't mean we should give him a pass for beating trash cans and like him saying, oh, I can beat Jake Paul in a rematch, I could beat Manny Pacquiao, when he didn't say that, but he said he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao and he thinks he could hang in there with Manny Pacquiao, which is delusional. You would never in a million years hang in there with Manny Pacquiao. He will destroy you. Yes, he may have lost to Floyd Mayweather, but honestly, the Floyd Mayweather who fought Manny Pacquiao, there's no explanation. He was just better. But that doesn't mean Manny Pacquiao wouldn't destroy you. Manny Pacquiao is a different fighter compared to Mayweather. Yes, he may have lost Mayweather, but he still is there to kill. And Mayweather wasn't there to kill you that night. He was just there to get a paycheck, toil with you, have you hurt a little bit, but not try and fully knock you out. Whereas Manny Pacquiao would actually try and do that. He would actually try and knock you out cold and TKO you. That's what he would actually try and do. Whereas Mayweather was going a bit easy on you the first few rounds. Obviously in round 6, which is where he was aggressive, but Manny Pacquiao would just wash you. Come on. So him beating FouseyTube, a trash can, one of the worst boxers we've seen on this earth, and then him beating Storms, who's okay, decent boxer, but he's still a novice trash can because he only had one win and he got embarrassed by KSI, very embarrassing. He looked awful in that fight against KSI, and then he fought the other guy, the Ryan Taylor guy, and he won, but it was like one punch. We can't really judge how, because we didn't get to see his full performance. We only saw a second of it, and it's like Deji beat two guys who were not really on his level, like guys who had less experience, guys who didn't know how to box, guys who had, okay, Swarms, okay, decent boxer, but still a novice, still a trash can, a journeyman. Deji beat him. Then when he beat Fousey, there's no explanation. Fousey was a trash can, was literally there to just not do anything, and Deji was all over him, but of course going to look good on a guy who's not punching back. Let's see how you do against a real professional or even an amateur boxer with hella amateur fights. Maybe go fight a Waleed Sharks, an Adam Sala, a Dean the Great, a Salt Pappy, an Anthony Taylor. Go fight those guys. If you beat them, you'd get respect from me. I'll give you respect if you beat those guys somehow. But you beating Swarms, you beating FouseyTube, you surviving 6 rounds with Floyd Mayweather, but then still getting TK'd, you're not going to get my respect. And it's like, he beat a guy who never boxed before. Well, he did box, but he had less experience. Then he beat a guy who literally is known for being the worst, and yes, I say this, the worst YouTube boxer ever. Like, you beat a novice, a bomb. You don't get tons of credit for it. But that's what people generally like to give him. It makes really no sense to me. But yeah. I'm getting bored. I don't want to watch this anymore. I'm moving on. So we've talked about Misfits 08, we've talked about Mizzy, we've talked about JMX and stuff. We talked about Deji and how he's overrated as a boxer, and that his fans are delusional for thinking that he can go in there and survive with guys like Jake Paul and Easton Gibb. He would get destroyed. He barely beat Swarms. He was the better boxer on the night, but he barely beat Swarms. Swarms was a punching bag in that fight. Didn't do that much. He did land some good shots. Okay, let me start again. Fair play on your win against Swarms, Deji. But I still think you're overrated. I still think your performance was not that good. I still think you're very, overrated. And I think Gibb, Slim even maybe, Salt Pappy still, even though he lost to Anthony Taylor, I still think he destroys you. I already said him. Anthony Taylor, I think he definitely destroys you. And more. I think they all destroy you. Jake Paul definitely, oh my god, Jake Paul would destroy, he would annihilate Deji. It would not be funny. He would destroy Deji. Before he fought Swarms, everyone's like, oh, he could definitely hang in there with Jake Paul. And I was like, Are you serious? Are you all there in our head? Like, there's no way he even survives close with Jake Paul. Like, come on. Jake Paul has had way more experience. You know, he's had more fights. He's shown more than Deji, way more than Deji, and he's got more mindset than Deji. But maybe in a few years when Jake Paul's a bit older and he's not really motivated to box anymore, maybe Deji could beat Jake Paul. But now, no, definitely not. He would get destroyed easily by Jake Paul. Simple as. Honestly, I think if honestly, I really want to see Jake Paul. I want to see how Jake Paul would do at like 175 pounds, because he's used to fighting at like 190, and Deji used to fight at like around that weight. Deji used to be like 190 pounds or 180, because when he fought Vinny Hacker, he even said that when he fought Vinny Hacker, he was like 200 pounds. So that's cruiserweight. So he fought at cruiserweight before. Obviously not in like ripped shape or anything. He was fat. He was in terrible shape. Terrible shape. But he still fought at that weight. So I don't think it would be much of a struggle for Deji to go up to like 190 pounds or 100 or 200 pounds to fight Jake Paul. Jake Paul still got the height, the reach though, but still the weight, there's not really much of a problem, because Deji has fought at that weight before. When he fought Vinyaka, he literally admitted on the podcast that he was 200 pounds, or even more than that, like 205 pounds or even 210 pounds. That's what he said. He said like he was like over 200 pounds. So that means he's fought at like nearly heavyweight. Nearly heavyweight he fought at for fuck's sake, when he fought Vinny Hacker, he said that he was basically nearly a heavyweight, which is crazy. And Jake Paul is not even a heavyweight and is around that weight. That's crazy. Like, and I think Deji, he's an alright boxer, but he's just, again, like I said earlier, he's overrated. Jake Paul destroys him. Come on, we don't have to talk. There's no debate about that. And I hope this fight with Swarms proves my point that Deji is not as good as you guys all thought he was, and that if you still want to see him fight Jake Paul, then you're basically asking to see him get knocked out cold, because it's going to happen. Let's be honest, because I don't like to be like the one who's saying, "Oh, it's definitely gonna happen," like it's a fact. But in this situation, I have to. Come on. Maybe if I'm proven wrong, okay, fine. But come on, bro. Come on. Come on. Come on. So what else to react to? KSI. Obviously, KSI, the fight with Joe Fournier. Obviously, his controversial elbow. He elbowed Joe Fournier. He probably would have. Oh, for fuck's sake! Can't speak today. Alright, so KSI's elbow against Joe Fournier, he was definitely the better boxer, was definitely all over Joe Fournier in the first round, and in the second round before he knocked him out with the elbow. Obviously, it was illegal, but he probably still would have beaten Joe Fournier either way. No, even without the elbow, he probably most likely would have still beaten Joe Fournier. But we never know. Maybe Joe Fournier would have been able to take punches and land a few and maybe hurt KSI as well, but we never know. But I think the elbow, he clearly didn't mean it. Like, KSI clearly didn't mean it. I'm not gonna say, oh, he did it on purpose, like these other YouTubers saying, these other guys are saying, these other YouTubers, but and also Joe Fournier himself. I'm not gonna say, oh, he definitely intended to elbow Joe Fournier. It was definitely not an accident. I'm not gonna say that. I think it was an accident. Accident. I think it was an accident. I wouldn't say it was on purpose. I wouldn't say it's on purpose. Fuck's sake, guys, I genuinely cannot speak today. I wouldn't say it's on purpose, but still illegal. You can't do that, so a no contest is definitely deserved, and his fight doesn't really count. But I don't think it was on purpose. I don't think he did it on purpose, like Joe Fournier and all them lot are saying. But yeah. So what else is there to do? I think I might end it here. This was a very shit stream. I am gonna end it here. Wait. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, motherfuckers.